No. So when we talk about relationship, I think it's important to start by understanding what relationship is. What is the structure? Before even we attempt to understand this or that kind of relationships, just understanding what is the formula, how does it build, what are the forces or the elements which are involved in that phenomenon. So, first of all, in order to have a relationship, or in order for relationship to exist, it has to have, I need to be someone who has something going on with someone else, for example, or something else, which is also possible. We are having relationships constantly in this everyday reality of ours. Everything has to do with some kind of a relationship, whether it is with partners or lovers or friends or families or colleagues or our environment, our immediate environment, or nature, or creation, or God, and of course ourselves. Sometimes we have this constant conversation with ourselves. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree with ourselves, sometimes we are in peace, sometimes we are in conflict with ourselves. There is a constant relationship going on with different voices within ourselves. So the structure of a relationship is such that it has to have something to do with something else, right? It is quite obvious. Which means that it is a state of separation. There is me or some center that has to do with some other me or some other center, some other object. There is a subject, there is an object, and there is something that is going on between them. We call that relationship. So this is the basic ground of relationship. We have to have this in order to have a relationship. And so if we look around and we see relationship everywhere, so we understand that our reality is built out of this state of separation. It's okay, it's not a matter of good or bad or should be like that or is it true or not. That's not my point. The point is that this is how it is. We need to just see it, just understand. So separation everywhere, relationship everywhere. Now if we are trying to bring some knowledge into that, if we are coming from the experience of oneness, for example, so oneness is just one word to describe this, a direct experience of something which feels in peace or complete or whole. And I believe that most of us has that kind of direct experience, even if just, for a short moment. And if we are trying to apply that kind of knowledge into our everyday relationship reality, we many times feel disappointed or frustrated in the process because as long as we try to bring this experience which has no separation into a separated or a duality situation, it's not really possible. And you probably know it happens many times when we are having relationship difficulties, and it can be any kind of difficulty or any kind of relationship. And we are trying to, to bring some knowledge into it, some wisdom. Yeah, but then we are doing something very strange. We are trying to bend oneness into a duality situation. Now, the thing is that if oneness or this wholeness is the underlying reality of everything, this is what is, and it exists everywhere, there's nothing but that, then the whole idea or the whole experience of a relationship is not different than that. There is no situation when it is not whole. But because for whatever reason we believe that the relationship is real, it is something to live, something to give energy to encourage even, to learn, to be better in. In other words, just accepting relationship as reality, then we have a problem. Because mostly what we will do is we will try to bring our experience of wholeness into a separated situation instead of doing the other way around. Bringing relationship into oneness. Acknowledging the underlying reality of the relationship situation. Now that's quite radical actually, because most of the time, we don't do that. We do the other thing. We try to bend or to squeeze oneness or wholeness or peace into a conflicted situation to begin with. Every relationship is actually conflicted to begin with. Sometimes it's okay, it works, sometimes it doesn't. There is no constant wave or constant state within it. Unless it is being adopted or it is being invited into the space of wholeness. Now the wholeness or this oneness is becoming the background on which this relationship can be manifested, appear, and disappear. Now, if we hold this background behind our relationship, any kind of relationship, any kind, without any exception, if we bring that into the space, into the wholeness, then our entire perspective over that relationship is completely different. And all of that is even before we started trying to understand this relationship or that relationship, How do I handle this? How do I manage that? This is before all of that. Only understanding what is going on. This is crucial because otherwise we get lost in this endless complexity of relationships, and there is so much of that everywhere. So this basic understanding, without even touching the subject itself, just understanding what's going on, makes all the difference. Because when we have that established, when time comes that we need to deal with the situation or deal with the relationship, our perspective is from the space, is not from relationship looking for the space, looking for the wholeness, looking for peace. It's peace first, then relationship, then conflict.